podcast 2. We move to Winchester again. We meet Joseph discovering humanity, human values, AI, Joseph style. Let's go. So welcome to Meet the Human podcast. This is a new episode, and we have the pleasure to meet the Joseph as a human. Joseph, how are you doing, Joseph?
Hi, everybody. I'm Joseph Morelos. I've never been better.
Wow. So
Yeah.
that's Joseph.
Yes.
Joseph, for the audience, not for me, because okay, I know you a lot.
Yes.
So please tell us, your name is Joseph, but tell us more about you. Who are you? Tell us a little bit about where you come from, your role, your professional role, or your role in life. Just like a little CV, like a mini CV.
Yeah.
Just give us your
Yeah.
identity.
Yeah. So I'm Joseph. I'm originally from the Philippines, and I've been really very fortunate. Um, my parents are some of the most hardworking people you'll ever meet. My dad's an engineer. My mom's into finance. So I guess I took the right turn when I was growing up and became an
That
engineer.
was
Although I did try a little bit of finance. I understand a little bit of stock market analysis because my mom was investing for Coca-Cola and the
that's why you
treasuries.
talk about that so much.
Yeah,
Not because of
yeah.
a hobby, but also because you have
No,
knowledge.
no, yes, my mom, she works on balance sheets on a weekend, and my dad brings, my dad has a little business with my granddad back home where they fix heavy machinery and power plants, sometimes ships. They fix everything. Yes, they fix everything. That's their little business, but that's all gone now. So yeah, I was yeah, no, I was just very very I felt blessed, really, and fortunate to be exposed in that kind of environment for a very young age,
Mm.
because there's a saying in my if my dad worked hard, my granddad really really worked hard, and he has this motto where if you enjoy your work so much, you don't really have to work a single day.
Oh.
Yeah. So I
You just have to enjoy every single day.
exactly, you just
Wow.
you just enjoy, which
Well, thank you.
I think in this day and age that kind of like blurs the personal and work life balance, but they're of that generation. So I joined Lloyd's 2007 as a as a
Describe Lloyd's for the audience. They don't know what Lloyd's
sorry,
is.
yes, Lloyd's Register is what you would call a classification society. They basically do a lot of quality assurance on the entire life cycle, not just of ships but maritime assets. So from basic design all the way to decommissioning, Lloyd's Register has some service around it's essentially quality assurance.
So you joined Lloyd's Register and then?
I've joined Lloyd's Register to 2007. Before the financial crisis. Initially, yeah, before then, I was thinking of becoming a financial analyst, but I decided to go through engineering. Then, yeah, no, I took several roles in Lloyd's Register. And initially, I was thinking of being assigned in Asia, but they sent me to London. So in London, I've made a lot of good friends in London. Then I did all sorts of jobs at that time, from witnessing what you call equipment type testing in a factory, and then a lot of design review, then some development of what we call classification rules, which are basically kind of like standards. So it was that was those were good times, because it allowed me to explore. It allowed me to
There's always
explore
some good
different
times
facets.
in
Yes,
life. Yeah,
yes,
some good
yes,
times in
yes,
life. Yeah,
yes,
that's good.
yes, yes.
Mm.
And I guess nobody told me that there was such a job where you turn up in the morning and you get paid to actually criticize somebody else's work. So when I discovered this, I guess I just
Oh
stayed
my God.
until today.
Do you want me to edit this part?
No,
Oh, okay. Oh my God.
it's okay.
Uh, okay, that's the way to put it. Is
Yes, that's one way
mm.
of putting. I mean, that's one way of
Then
putting.
this evolved, right? Then
Absolutely. I think, but on a serious note, I think what makes me stay is really the passion of the people to really contribute back to society.
mm,
It's not the wider society now, because now we're very focused on maritime, but what we do day in day out, you know improving the quality of something. I sincerely believe it positively impacts people's lives, right?
mm,
Meaning things should work as they should. uh, avoiding failures, avoiding problems, right? And there's a connection to that with the end users of some of this
mm,
assets, which is, yeah, I feel very passionate about.
yeah. Well, yeah, I know you are. But thank you very much for letting everybody know one aspect of your passion, your human being, humanity. So now the tough question now, Joseph. The tough question. Just give me your definition of humanity, please.
It's hard to define a human, isn't it? Because uh, you know we display real intelligence, right? So yeah, so if
Real.
I'm not mistaken, the humans, from very very early, well, I think it's the Greeks, obviously. So in terms of the Greek words homo sapiens, we're described as
That's
man.
Greek. Is that
That's
Greek?
Greek. Homo sapiens is Greek. So
It's not.
homo is man and sapiens is
Oh, in Greek.
intelligent.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
in Greece.
Oh.
Yes. So in terms of so we think too much of ourselves, clearly,
Mhm.
right? That we put ourselves on the top of the food chain. But if you really look at, like, of course there still remains some issues today, but if you look at the progress we've made from the very very early of our species 100,000 years ago to today, we've literally changed the face of the earth, that in a way that you won't recognize it if you go back even a few hundred years. So for
So
me
humanity
for
is
me
is an agent of change.
a positive agent
Oh,
of
positive.
change.
Okay, okay. Oh.
From eh, of course, as I've said, humans displaying real intelligence, having all the possible opinions and views. You cannot just like put that into a single category. But I am one of the belief that, despite of all the perceived issues today, humans are a positive force of change.
Mm. You, thank you. You mentioned twice. It's very interesting. You mentioned twice real intelligence. Very interesting. Later in our chat, we will talk about artificial intelligence. Okay, so park it for later. But I'm very curious. Later on, I'm going to ask you. You can store this question in your brain for later. Real versus artificial. I don't know. We'll ask you this question later. But anyway, very interesting. Thank you. Very interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting. And okay, after you have tried to define humanity, and very well, nice answer. There's no answer, by the way. That's is. I think
Yeah.
I will. Hopefully, I will interview a lot of people, and everybody will have a. I have no clear answer either. The next critical question is okay, fine, give me some of the attributes of humans, give me some human values, give me a very short list, whatever comes to mind.
Humans are naturally capable of caring and love,
Oh,
for example.
oh.
But on the flip side, humans are very competitive.
Uh-huh.
sometimes sometimes selfish, you might call it greed, but I don't know if everybody remembers. There's this movie back in the 80s. It's called Wall Street, and
Oh yeah.
there's this character there, Gordon Gecko,
Uh-huh.
and he said, for the lack of a better word, humanity's progress is described by one word, and that is greed. So like I think humans again display a lot of different traits. I would say most of the time, or values, most of the time positive, right? Especially if you look at the world we live today, where there's that. It's not just about reaching out, but there's this recognition that the more we gel or collaborate together, the more we can move together as a society.
Hmm.
Before, honestly, you look at just decades before, there's a lot of barriers, not just barriers, sometimes outright discrimination, sometimes outright, let's say, slavery principles in place, which are gone today, which we things we take for granted, right? So I think humans obviously have both, ideal values or exemplar values, and sometimes, like, things like greed, is obviously negative, but I think it's an interplay of those two that allows us to become better. I mean, it's up for debate,
Yeah.
obviously, right? But as I've said, for that example, for that generation of finance people, greed is a positive value. It's shocking to hear for you and me, but if you look at it from their perspective, all of this, let's say, well, not all, but some of this progress that we've been done is like, if you look at how wealth is concentrated today, you could literally, literally put them in, from 1 to 100, right? Like, the wealth is concentrated in these people, right, today. So, and okay, they've amassed that wealth, but obviously they've benefited the society as well. We take, again, little things that we take for granted, right? Before, to get the information that you need to go to a big library, not just your local library, because your local library will not have the books, right? But now, all you need is to talk to your phone, and Google or Chat GPT will give the answer to you instantaneously, right? And they do it for free, which is like, again, it's pretty amazing, right? But all of this
Then
info,
we need to trust that actually the answer is correct.
it's the same exercise when you go to your library. There's no
You
such
take you
thing.
take you take the text as correct.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And if you but I think it's the speed, right? The speed and the effort. There's a cost to it, right? Like, as I've said, your library needs to be affluent enough to be carrying the book that you're looking for example. And to your point, am I absorbing widely something widely accepted as correct? You need comparison. So now you don't just need one book on the subject. You need a few. And if you don't live in a big city, you just don't do that. You cannot compare and contrast. But today, you look at your search, let's say, library, and you say, who's saying something around the references. Of course, there's no such thing as an absolute truth as well. But at least, I'm saying, from a few days of work, now that's down to a few seconds, right? But
Yeah.
sorry, the point is,
Yeah. What's the point?
sorry, yeah, the point is, going back, the owners of Google, Sergey Brin and Larry, can't remember his last name now.
Hmm. Larry
uh,
Page.
Larry Page, that's him. They're hundreds of sorry, tens of billions rich. But the infrastructure that they built for all of us, which are now being continuously built upon by other companies, it's,
Useful.
yeah, it benefit
Very
you,
useful.
yeah.
Hmm.
You could literally learn from videos, and and
Well,
yeah, yeah,
I hope so, especially
yeah,
from
yeah.
this one.
Yes.
Um, okay, so Joseph, so if you think about, I like to maybe focus on the positive values, if you can for a while.
Yeah.
Um, so if you think about those, or the ones you may have in your list, you already told us before. Um, can you give me a story, your a personal, if you want to share a personal story that you can say, I actually, you have caught yourself being a positive human. Can you give me a story?
That's good. That's a good one. I don't. I
Don't
don't
be
think.
shy. Don't be
I
shy.
don't think too highly of myself, but I believe on standing on the shoulders of giants, but also letting other potential giants do the work. Meaning, I always positively look to, let's say, inspire the next generation so that they could be better than my generation, right?
Mm,
But also just really giving credit to what has been given to my generation, right? So
mm,
I think I if I could sum that up, I think it's really more on uh collaboration through the generations, if I might put it that way.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think um on that, I think I've been, I've always taken the time to inspire kids, actually.
Mm,
Yeah, especially my kids, but also, also some other kids, into, you know not limiting themselves or not constraining themselves, but just like, being that they can be whatever they want to be.
inspiring. Can tell me more about what you mean inspiring. In what way?
uh in encouraging them, for example, to
To be
be,
you?
not to be me.
No,
I'm saying to be. I
that was
think I
that was a
think
trap. That was a
yeah,
trap.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Inspiring. Okay, inspiring on what?
I think the one of the critical skills that you can teach and foster is really curiosity,
Mm,
right? So,
nice.
if I made somebody curious about something, I think I've done my job, right? But making sure that, kids are excited. You cannot force something to somebody, right? So, like, you cannot force math, you cannot force science, right? But if you find the inside track, and if you find, let's say, a story that would naturally make them curious, I think this is the way to go. So I try to I sometimes try to put myself in their shoes and say, what's interesting for me.
Wow, that's wonderful. Did, did it happen to you when you were a child? Do you think that was done by your parents into you?
That's interesting. I again, I remember my childhood as being in this family that my dad and mom, doesn't basically stop working, right? Which is not, sometimes
Maybe that
that
was
can
inspiring.
that can be seen as negative, but kind of like work carried over to the dinner conversation, where, my dad, for example, would be so proud if, he made, let's say, a record repair time on a blade of a turbine, or my
And that was the
my
subject. And that
that
was
was a
discussed over
subject.
dinner with the kids.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
But that also,
I understand many things now that happened to you. Wow.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, this is I never got so my
So that
dad.
happened, really happened.
Yeah, my dad is also very passionate about cars, right?
Hmm.
We must have had at one point we must have had 5 cars, and 4 of them are really old cars that
Well, he was
outside of work he restores.
passionate about repairing cars. Yeah, right.
Restoring cars,
Restoring cars.
restoring old cars,
Ooh.
right? So
And that was also dinner conversation.
it was, yeah, I mean, it was a
No, that
weekend
was a
thing.
joke. That was
my
a
my
joke.
my my, my, my brother got heavily my younger brother got heavily into it, right? But
Oh.
I didn't, but
Hmm.
because yeah, I don't want to get my hands
Yeah,
dirty
yeah,
at
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
time.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. So inspiring. So actually, I like to hear that we can inspire generations on being more curious. Okay, I'm also very, very curious. I feel curiosity is a super positive attribute that we have. I feel inspiring kids to be curious. Wow, I, that's very potent, very powerful concept.
If
I
I
like
can
that.
add something to that, I think it's curiosity, but also tenacity,
Tenacity.
as in never giving up when you're,
Put
I
the
think
effort
not
continuously.
just put an effort, but kind of like looking at things not necessarily as life or death, but taking everything that's assigned to you, taking it very, very seriously. I think this is one of the one of the things that um has not just been mellowed down is the wrong term, but it's been eased out of our society.
Mm.
We like the kids are not taught to have or to display a lot of grit, right? And um yeah.
Mm. Thank you. Interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you. So then, this is one way you believe you have created impact around you.
Yeah.
Basically, also your children, which I know are very important to you, for 2020 father, and and do you can you see anything else that you may have done for yourself? No, okay, not for others, or by yourself, that has created some impact that you are proud of.
I'm proud of the work we did around establishing something for testing and evaluating software in the maritime industry. Because I think from what I'm here, like right now, I'm more receptive to what kind of problems are being caused in a lot of places, for example. And although I'm not supposed to be directly involved in that, I'm just more copied in via email correspondence. I've got a feeling that, of course, a software problem ends up normally in a physical problem, right? In chips, just because this is how something industrial is, right? So like we've started something. It's not, let's say, it's not standard, or it's not business as usual today, but I just keep pushing it. I'm keeping on pushing it from an international level. I'm attending the IMO, but also from an IAX level, but also internally in Lloyd's Register, just to keep up with the face or the scope of the application of software technologies.
But without going into technicalities, because I think
Yes.
I hope that many of the audience don't even know what IMO is. Perhaps
Sorry.
I hope,
Yes.
and many others will know what IMO is. But
Yeah.
without going into this maritime industry sort of jargon, okay, for that particular example, and actually this question maybe you don't have a answer, no problem. But do you can you specify a human value that you may have put at play in that piece of work that has generated some positive impact? Hu- hum, your human part of your humanity at play? Can you
I,
spot?
for me, it's I've taken it as a personal cause. So I think the value is passion really, but for me, it's a little bit like a maze, right? And sometimes you end up in a dead end, but I'm not giving up on it, right? I'm still
Passion,
yeah
which could be a great value, great
yeah
human
yeah
attribute value.
yeah.
Passion for what?
It's passion to make it happen. Passion in its own. It's a little bit like sometimes people see passion as just like I'm just gonna go through that door even if it's closed. But I think it's also pivoting, right? Pivoting or being adaptive, listening. Listening not just to what the market demands, but really what where we are right now, so you can make that positive change.
Passion for positive change.
Passion for positive change, yes.
Okay. So you described. Okay. So thank you. You described your a bit about your background, some origins. Um, mm, Very interesting discussions about the influence your parents, your family atmosphere, the dinner table discussions.
Yes.
Um, then you, of course, you gave me the great attributes of humanity, of caring and loving, which is good to hear because not everybody will mention this, but you did. And you also mentioned uh, passion to influence, that people get more and more curious. So we are building. So I'm just building a bit of a profile of humanity according to Joseph today. Okay, maybe if we do this again tomorrow, we'll have more. But
Yeah.
today, and then you are a passionate person for a good cause. Um, so, in general, would you be able to? And this is now another tricky question that I have been told to ask people. Would you be keen to build humanity in AI?
No.
No. Okay, just tell me. Just
No.
tell me about it.
I, I think whatever we have built should always work for humans and not the other way around. I mean, this obsession about perfection, this obsession about doing everything via AI. Obviously, it has its benefits, right? But I think if you look at it, from like again, humans, we've called ourselves human or man the intelligent, right? Homo sapiens. I don't think that's gonna change, at least for the foreseeable future, right? So it's really AI is just another tool, another product that helps our productivity. But if you flip that the other way around, where humans exist because of AI, I'm just thinking out aloud here. Uh, it's gonna collapse the economy as we know it, isn't it? Because the economy, in terms of consumers, is made up of you and me making choices the way we want them, and we're allowed to make that choices because we earn a salary, or we earn, if if there's AI that basically takes over all of that, let's say activities, right? And I'm not saying it can do that right now, but obviously that's the goal. And then eliminating, let's say, the relative standards of living of all these different humans. Who else is going to be there left to consume, right? I mean,
The AI, perhaps.
the AI being singular will not have a variety, right? It will not, it may not want to go to vacation somewhere, or it might not want to go buy, additional cars because it has no need for cars, right?
I don't
So
see
I
why
think,
not.
but I think it's very theoretical, obviously. But since we're on that subject, I think it has definitely improved its performance. Let's say in searching for for information, explaining that information, tying relative information all together. But uh, it's not like you and me who are displaying and real intelligence is not just academic, by the way, but it's about reflecting, like not just reflecting, but kind of like introspect and continuous learning, right? So um yeah.
Are you okay? Real intelligence. You said it 3 times now. Real intelligence. Okay, we come back to the question that you store in your brain just before. I have two questions though. Two questions. Do you say real intelligence because these days we also talk and have artificial intelligence? So that's one question. Hold on. Do you say real intelligence because we have artificial intelligence? So you're trying to differentiate. That's one question. And the second question would be, can you give me a bit of a definition on what is real intelligence as opposed to intelligence? Okay, those are the two questions.
Yeah, yes, I think I have subconsciously. And for me, real intelligence is unbounded, right? It's unbounded, like as I said, the way, at the end of the day, AI, even the real powerful machine learning, or even the ones that you know whose learning are reinforced by more data, example, a group of humans somewhere are still giving it, let's say, goals, or coming up with mathematical functions that serve as goal on how that learning should be. When I say real intelligence, it's not just the intelligence that we display here and here right now. I think I like our conversation on how, let's say, my parents and my different work colleagues, my friends from, let's say, university, has helped me develop to who I am. In
Mm,
some ways, I am a summation of all of that,
mm,
but also I'm not standing still. I'm not stopping here. I'm still growing more in understanding,
mm.
growing more in curiosity. Nobody is telling me to do this, right? Nobody, right? And I think that's the distinction, right? So there could be, so the most powerful AI today, admittedly, has been displaying a lot of lateral thinking, meaning it's not just like thinking and solving a specific project or a specific problem or goal, but it's like looking at nearby examples and applying that back. That's why the performance is through the roof. But as I've said, you still have people, from somewhere saying this is how you should be, how that learning process should be, right?
Do you think so? Okay. Now well, I think I need more time to explore the real intelligence, but maybe for another podcast that we may do in the
Yeah.
future. But uh, do you think you you imply that you did something consciously? You use your conscious function to continue improving, let's say, while maybe artificial intelligence so far follow pre-established orders by humans. Is that what you mean?
Absolutely.
But
So
don't you think that that consciousness can be given also to artificial intelligence?
this is like the holy grail in AI, right? Giving it, giving it, what we have, what sometimes we take for granted is, the ability to be self-conscious, the ability to reflect, the ability to, understand where it is and where does it want to go. But um and it's hard to tell if they're succeeding or not, right? Because obviously what we're seeing is like investments in even bigger computers. you know there's some breakthroughs in learning methodologies, but I think it's still, it's still targeted, right, to a specific, when I say I'm shaped by my environment and I have no constraints, I could start taking a medical degree tomorrow, right? If I've experienced something and I'm inspired, I could just say, I'll do part-time medical degree first, and then I want to be a doctor, right? This is what I meant by real intelligence, and an AI like ChatGPT would never start flying rocket ships because it's so
On purpose.
it's so out of its scope, right? It's gonna improve on the search function. It's gonna improve on creating graphics. Sure, it would do that, right? But when I say humans, what makes us special is the what we experience, how we absorb what we experience, and actually translate that into applied intelligence, right?
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, I have to think about that too. It's good that it's recorded, so I can
Yes.
so I can listen.
Yes.
I can
Yes,
listen to
but
it later and think
but
about it.
I guess I'm not one of those, I'm not one of those Puritans who will deny that a lot of our increase in productivity are obviously because of AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
AI is literally everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Except maybe for ships, but
No, it's also that.
it's ending up in ships. It's
Yeah,
ending up in ships.
yeah.
But what I'm saying, everywhere, like the amount of tech that we have in this room,
Mm.
half of it is powered by AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and as I've said, we take it for granted.
This is not a super high tech room, by the way. It's a very,
Yeah.
it's a Winchester co-working space, which is good. But anyway, it's not. It's not. The audience may think that we are in a super duper.
Yeah,
But anyway,
looks.
it's good enough. Yeah. Well, Joseph, thank you very much. Thank you. I think maybe just before we finish, maybe we have another couple of things. Um, so let's reflect a little bit back
Yeah.
into humanity and human values. Would you be able to mm, identify some human values that you can see are part of you day in, day out? And that actually, if you think now, because maybe you haven't thought about this deeply, but actually, if I
Yeah.
force you to think now, and I'm forcing you to think, would you be able to share some value that you have as a human that actually you're using every week, and actually you're using it because it's helping you, or it's helping your life?
I Yeah, I think the first thing that came to my mind is being open minded. So I know it's not like a strong human value, like
Mm-hmm.
caring, but I think being open minded comes alongside with me being curious,
Mm-hmm.
right? So open minded is like, it helps me interact in a more positive, constructive way. Not just in the workplace, but in a lot of other places. And I think, again, I'm thankful enough to see a lot of the world. That's why it's easy for me to say that I think I can understand, and I can appreciate where other people are coming from.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Thank you.
And last request:
Yes.
I will ask this maybe to everyone I interview. Can you think of a question that you would like me to ask a next guest related to meet the human subject, obviously?
I think it's what makes humans humans.
What? Sorry, say again.
What makes
What makes-
humans humans?
Oh wow. Okay. I will ask. Okay, noted.
Yeah, I think.
Don't answer.
Yeah.
Don't answer. This is for somebody else. But you can answer to me off the record. Off the record.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Joseph, I think you would say anything else to close?
No, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Was it okay? Good experience. Thank you very much for being in this podcast. I just hope the audience met the human Joseph as a human being, and discover new things. I have actually I know Joseph. How long do we know each other for? 10 years, 11 years, something like that, right? Over a decade.
We started working together 2016, so that's 9 years.
9 years.
But we've met in Singapore.
We met in Singapore. Okay.
When
Around
my
decade.
yeah,
A decade.
yeah,
A decade.
Yes.
Today I learned something new about Joseph. Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. See you next time.
That's the.
Because you are a great humanity
I
character.
don't think I am, but
Well, I
anyway,
think you are.
we'll go through it. We'll go through the
Actually, I think
questions.
your humanity is so huge that I think we need 3 podcasts to
no.
actually uncover
I display all the human flaws.
uncover exactly. So, are you ready? Ready?
Is that on?
Well, it's on because then I will edit.
Okay,
so I don't have
good.
to stand.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I have
yeah.
to stand up again.
Absolutely.
Now I'm in
No,
position.
I thought you had a secret clicker somewhere.
Well, this post has a clicker,
That's what I thought. Yeah.
but I just bought it in Tokyo. £40. It's a fantastic, so light. It has a clicker,
Oh wow.
but I didn't read the instructions yet.
Okay. Yeah.
But
that
it's
connects to your phone.
Well, I don't know. I need to read the instructions, but
Yeah.
I should be able to actually click.
Yeah.
That will be for another podcast, not this
Yeah.
one.
I'm ready.
Yeah, well, I'm not.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I'm ready for the tricky questions.
Oh, sorry. I mean for the podcast.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. As always, life is very interesting.
Life is very interesting.
Yes.
Yes.
I will check.
We're not
if-
recording or whatever.
Oh, yeah, we are recording.